In 1 Corinthians 9, 24 through 27, I think you have one of the clearest passages in all the entire Bible that you could forfeit your salvation, because nobody's going to doubt the Apostle Paul's saved.
Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable one. So I do not run aimlessly. I don't box as one beating the air. I discipline my body and keep it under control, lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. Disqualified. Put out of the race. Not a question of coming in second or third. Disqualified.
It's amazing because he uses that word adokimos elsewhere when talking to the Corinthians or writing to the Corinthians. And he states in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, he warns in verse 21 of those who have not yet repented of their sexual immorality, their sin and so forth. And he warns them that they must, examine themselves. In chapter 13, verse 5, he says, examine yourselves, test yourselves to see whether or not you're in the faith, unless you are adokimos. He uses the same exact Greek word. He defines adokimos as being without Christ, as not being in the faith anymore.
Now, he's the great Apostle Paul who's been taken up to the third heaven and planted churches, written scripture. What does he say about himself? If ever there was a person who deserved to go to heaven because he served the Lord, it's Paul. But he says, I discipline my body, verse 27.
If Paul lives with the feeling that it could be distantly possible that I would be put out of this race, how can we say, no, you can't be put out of the race, no matter what you do?
And then he goes on to say, I'll give you some examples. Ignore the chapter division. In chapter 10, he says, remember the people who came out of Egypt, baptized into Moses in the Red Sea and all that? Nevertheless, verse 5, with most of them, God was not well pleased, and they were perished in the wilderness. He's connecting to that with what he just said, that I could be disqualified. And verse 11, these things are happened to them as an example and were written for our instruction. Here's the important thing. The one who thinks he stands, let him be careful lest he does not fall.